So welcome everybody to tonight's session. Tonight's all about, I suppose, really an information session on what we've got planned for the season. We're hoping to do these webinars every 2 weeks, probably up until Christmas, and then we'll kick it off mid-January or so again. And they'll run every 2 weeks. They're ideally designed for new umpires, guys doing Little League. There'll be a Little League twist to it with rules and things. But it's all about, people come to a community course, they get all keen, and then to a degree, they get sort of left behind if they haven't got anybody local to work with, or, they might lose interest. So it's about giving those local mentors some tools to work with as well, and to work with their local club umpires and groups that they have locally, as well as keeping contact with what's happening with umpiring and stuff. So I'll just share my screen, and we'll be underway. So let's give me 2 seconds. You can all see that? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, just going through it. So tonight's all about development for new umpires. Just let me get rid of something here. Right, there we go. So tonight, hang on a sec, broken it. So the training's open to all umpires, new and experienced. We'd like the experienced umpires to share their knowledge as we go along and share it locally. New umpires, it's all about learning. So encourage any other umpires you know locally that you think might be interested. If you get something out that, sure, invite them along. Better umpiring will improve it for everybody locally, all over the state. So that's the plan. We've got a couple of guys on here tonight. We've got Barry from Queensland, Gavin from Victoria, and we'll get some other guys dropping in, and there's some people watching it on YouTube, of course. So a special thanks goes out to Stu Hartenstein. So Stu Hartenstein's from the central region of the Little League umpire world. He lives in Indianapolis, and I'm using quite a few of Stu's videos. You can watch all his training material on YouTube as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. If you've got any questions, or you can ask those as you go, but get on our mailing list, send us an email at development@nswbua.org, and those links are on our Facebook page as well, if you haven't got a pen to write it down tonight. So get hold of those. Sessions, as I said, recorded, and we'll upload them on YouTube. So it'll probably be on YouTube late tomorrow or Saturday. So and every 2 weeks. Before we start, got a couple of announcements. We've got some community courses coming up. We've got one hosted by Greater West on the 23rd. We've got some spots available there. One hosted by MacArthur on the 27th. And we've got one hosted by Cronulla. It'll be at East Hills on December the 13th, and you can register via our website. We will have some other ones coming up through the season, but they're the ones that are locked in so far. State Cup, as an announcement came out tonight about State Cup and its modified format. A few associations have dropped out of State Cup and are doing their own thing. But get in contact with your local junior association and find out what games they've got on, whether they're playing in-house, whether they're playing against other associations, and if they're involved in State Cup, get involved with that. So there's still games going on. We've got our showcase for under 16s and under 18s. That's in January. I've written 12 to the 15th. I'm pretty sure that's the date, but just check those as well. If you're interested in being in those, you need to contact through the association for those ones, or contact your local guys and they can put your name forward. Our Little League State Championships are booked in for April. 15th of April is Good Friday. So that's when it starts with the Senior League, and Little League Majors and Minors this year are at Greenway. There's a possibility there may be sectional events in Little League Majors, so some games on in the weeks leading up to the normal State Cup, State Championship. Little League Nationals, again, May to June, and this year the Senior League's over in Perth. We've also, this year there's a travel ball tournament in the pipeline. What I need to tell people about that is those games aren't sanctioned by Baseball Australia, And so there's no, your insurance through Baseball Australia won't cover you. It's up to you if you participate. We're just letting you know they're on. The other thing with these travel ball tournaments is because they're not sanctioned through Baseball Australia or Baseball New South Wales, there's no, we've got a question where their conduct with a question mark. If someone gets ejected or carries on one of those games, those suspensions won't be implemented by Baseball New South Wales. So that's one thing to be conscious of. But you need to check out with them about the insurance. Tonight, as we go, if you've got any questions, hop onto the chat. We've got a question there already, and someone's already put up for me the showcase games, the 10th to the 15th. So we'll fix that up and let everybody know. So 10th to the 15th of January, 5 days. I think it's various locations around the Sydney area. All right. So that's it for our announcements. But tonight, as I said, get involved, ask questions as we go. You're welcome to use the chat button as well to ask questions. As we go week to week, we'll put some documents and stuff up in the chat, some links so you can download some stuff, and we'll include those when we post the information out on YouTube and email everybody. So the plan is not to email everybody, once every 2 days or something. So tonight, after tonight, we'll send an email out tomorrow with the link to the YouTube thing, and then 2 weeks time. So we're doing it on the Thursday, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll just send a reminder email out to let everybody know it's on again, and give you the link for the current meeting. But tonight, if you've got any questions, you can jump on or jump in the chat, and we'll monitor those there. So we've got another thing on in the chat.
Yeah.
All the games are at BISP. So thanks, John. All right. All right. So the theme for 2021-22 is to make the most of routine plays. What we want to talk to people about is just being ready and getting into position and not being for want of a better word, a lazy umpire. So habits form from repetition. It can take up to anywhere from 18 to 254 days for a person to form a new habit, and on an average 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. So what we want to talk about with routine plays is, for example, a ground ball to the infield with no runners on. You get into position, you're ready for the play, you work to get into position early. You don't take your time to, dawdle over to where you should be, because that ball, once that fielder's got it, especially with Little League, a couple of things can happen. That kid will throw it wherever he wants, and he might not throw it where you think it's going to go, and we'll cover off on some of those a little bit later. Pop up to the infield, get into the right spot to watch. If you've got a runner at 3, whether they're tagging, they drop the ball and the kid takes off, or the kid doesn't take off, whatever. Foul balls down the line. If we're working on a foul ball down the line and it's well into foul territory, if every time we get one of those, we're getting into the right spot and straddling the line, ready to make a call, then when you get that ball that's right down in the corner, right on the line, if you turn that into a habit, then you'll automatically start to do that all the time. You'll get into the right spot and be ready to go. Tonight, we want to cover off, as I sort of said, tonight's really an overview for everybody, just to let you know what's happening and what we've got planned, what umpire training is available. We didn't have a seminar this year, and we didn't have one last year due to COVID. And there's lots of places we can get training in the meantime before we have another seminar, which won't be probably until July next year. So we're going to cover off on that. We'll talk about some goal setting, and we'll talk about 2021, what we're going to call our principles of growth. But now at the moment, we've got lots of places where we can get online training. We've got online, we've got state and local associations, wherever you might be. We've got local mentors, local club mentors, local, you'll know those in your local club. We've got some community courses coming up. We've got Facebook groups. We've got YouTube. We've got podcasts. We've got a whole pile of places where you can get umpire training and learn things, learn about rules. We've got rule books. If you haven't got a rule book, hang on a second. Yeah, Mark, you got a question, mate?
Yeah, don't forget the Little League website.
Yep, coming to that one. So if you need a rule book, we've got our Major League rule book. We've got one of those. John Bailey's got those available through NSWBUA. We've got the Little League rule book. Both of those are available online. You can download those. The Little League rule book is $2.99 as an app on your phone, and it comes with lifetime updates. So there's no excuse for someone not to have a rule book. On the Major League site, MLB.com, if you scroll right to the bottom of the front page under official information there, you'll see official rules, and you can print that book out and use as a PDF or whatever. So if you've got a problem with a rule during a game, afterwards write it down, and you'll be able to research it pretty quickly. We've got the umpire registry on Little League, littleleagueumpire.org, and there's a whole pile of free information and videos. There's on there, another document that they call the rules instruction manual. So if you've got your normal Little League rule book, it's got everything in there, tournament regulations, operating procedures, all that sort of stuff. And right in the middle, about probably a quarter of it is the actual rule book. You can download a free copy of the rule book through the rules instruction manual. And it's like the, the old Major League stuff, where it gives you guidance on rules and how to do things and how to proceed, and that's free, and you could join in probably 30 seconds or 5 minutes and get online. Whole pile of videos to watch, whole pile of rules, all sorts of stuff on there. We've got the development series that we've already started back in May, June sort of thing. When COVID hit, we did some webinars already on a water basis, batters interference, runners interference. They're all available through our website and through YouTube. If you just go NSWBUA on YouTube, ready to go. We've got our website, another whole pile of information there under the education tab. With Facebook, you've got places like YouTube. You've got a mob called Close Call Sports. So every ejection in the Major League, they discuss and put a video up and break it down as per the rules and show people what happened, what didn't happen, how the umpire came to their decision. So usually it's because somebody doesn't understand a rule, and they'll break it down and show everybody what happened. Tonight, we'll cover a little bit about goal setting. That's one of the things we're going to work on, and making the most of routine plays. So over this session, Marky, you got a question?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, you got your hand up. That's all right.
No, I didn't. That was earlier.
Oh, you broke it. All right. So what we want to work on is sharpening our habits, skills, and fundamentals. So we'll talk through in the upcoming sessions about doing a pre-game with your partner, talking about fair foul, catch, no catch, rotations, responsibilities. We'll talk about a post-game and review any problems you had and seek solutions to find out, what did you make a call? Maybe you should have been in this position or that position, or maybe you should have moved to here, or, maybe you made a ruling and that wasn't the rule that was supposed to be. So we'll try and work out with people how to get you the information for next time. We'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about working a game diary. We'll talk about plate mechanics, getting in the slot, a pre-pitch cadence, that sort of stuff. And we'll talk about the basics of a 2-umpire system, primarily for the small diamond, but we'll get into that stuff as well. So the other thing we want to cover off is what we call proper use of eyes. So as an umpire, we need to use our eyes properly, process the information. We use our eyes to process the information, watch the play, gather all the information together, and then we render a decision with a physical mechanic. So proper use of eyes allows us to complete this process with good timing. We need to use proper use of eyes for almost every play that occurs: pitches, force plays, tags, catch, no catch, fair foul, home runs, time plays, everything. So we need to get that visual camera into the right position and hold it still as the play is completed. So we'll talk about proper use of eyes in the coming weeks. We'll talk about chest to ball. I mean, everyone's heard the old adage, watch the ball, glance at runners. And we've got a couple of videos to run through in a minute to talk to you about chest to ball, keeping your eyes on the ball and allowing the umpire to view the play before moving where they should move to, allow the ball to take them to where they need to be. So chest to ball allows umpires to always know the status of the ball, situations like wayward throws on the infield, balls at the backstop when we've got runners coming home, plays that develop at other bases when you're anticipating it, the player throwing it somewhere and you're ready to go, and they make a play at a different base. So chest to ball, we've got here's a situation, and we'll run through this video in a minute. We've got a major league guy. The ball's a routine ball to the ground to the shortstop, and where he moves and how he tracks the ball is something that probably we need to work on. So let's have a look at that one. Give me 2 seconds. Right. Okay. So can you guys see that? No? So just shout out if you can't see it.
Can't see it.
I can't see it.
Can't see it.
Haven't got it, Matty.
Haven't got it. Righto. Here we go. Can you see that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we talk about when we talk about chest to ball. So if a guy can do this in the major league, I reckon anyone can do it. Everyone's done it at some stage in their umpire career. So this is the Mets versus St. Louis. Got a routine ground ball to the shortstop. We've got an umpire at first base, no runners on, so he's not looking for anybody moving into any other place. And we'll watch what happens. I'll just slow it down a bit. So routine ball to the ground stop, throw comes over, and Wooshka hits him flush on the side of the cheek. So watch where he's looking when the shortstop's got the ball. He's looking straight at the base. Hasn't picked the ball up coming out of the hand. The fielder, he turns to head off into the dugout because he knows where he thinks the ball's going. This guy cops it right on the side of the head. So, yeah, and that hurt. And have a look at the big melon that's developed on the side of his scone. There you go. So I'm going to say if someone at this level can do that, I reckon anybody can do it. All right, we'll just get rid of that one for a second. All right. So I've got a couple of little league ones to show you now. So these come from the various little league tournaments around the world. And it's not about picking on the umpire and making him look bad. It's about learning what he does and how we can do it better. So you can all see that one? Yeah?
Yep.
All right. So this one comes from the Western region. This is at San Bernardino. It's a girls' softball game. We've got a line drive that's going to go out to fielder 9 to right field, and we've got an umpire on first base. And I want you to watch what he does and where he moves to. Just slow it down a bit. So he moves into the right spot, then he turns his back to the ball, gives fielder 9 no opportunity to throw that ball in, and it ends up going to second base. So if she'd thrown that ball, he could have copped it right in the back of the noggin. So this next one's from the Junior League World Series. This is in Taylor, Michigan. We've got Puerto Rico playing California, and we've got a pickoff to third base. So let's just get rid of something here for a sec. So got a runner at 2. He's going to steal over to second base, to third base, sorry. And I want you to watch what the umpire on third base does. Ball gets away. So ball's behind him now. Anybody got any comment on how he sort of does stuff there? Anybody? Come on.
Well,
Someone.
he hasn't chest the ball. He's got his back to the ball.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go back a sec. So yeah, there's a ball right behind him. So if that fielder was a little bit quicker and wanted to make a play at home plate or something,
He's in trouble.
He'd be in all sorts of trouble. So had he opened up, stepped out, and turned himself chest to ball, watching the ball, glancing at the runner, he would have been all over that play. But he makes himself look a little bit lazy there. Next one, same game, same umpire. We've got a pick off from home plate to third base, and again we'll watch what he does. So that's that one finished. So ball gets away. We've got a runner coming around from second to third now. Again, watching, I'm not sure what he's watching. And now the ball comes over from the fielder. Again, had he opened up his stance there, watch where the ball comes, and you just see a little glance there, back to go. Hang on a sec, maybe I should have been watching. Yep. So I don't want to beat up too much on that guy. He's got to a World Series event, so he's probably a good umpire. Just at that moment, he wasn't on his game. His mind was somewhere else. All right, next one. So this one comes from the Central region. They do a lot of their umpiring training indoors. These guys here, they only got an infield working, so they're working on ground balls, and they put some umpires out to work on some stuff. And this guy will show you exactly how it should be done. So we've got a runner at one, hit to I think it goes to the shortstop, this one, and we'll see if this guy does it any differently. Oh, it goes to the pitcher. So chest to ball, ready to go. Always looking at where the ball is, follows the ball to first base. The kid was clearly out safe, but this is a training one where they're taught to give the out signal. First base then throws it to third base, and he's turning directly, following the ball for all the play. Just go back a little bit, and we can show you this one again. Is this all sort of making sense to people?
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yep.
All right. So, and then we've got a first to third. We've got the plate guy going up, and we'll talk about that in the coming weeks as well. This one, he's in the C position, a runner at second base. We've got a ground ball goes to the second baseman, and then he moves. And so watch the actions of this guy in the C position. Sorry. Right, here it goes. So it's on the other side of the diamond. He's moving in a little bit he knows exactly where the ball is all the time. Makes a call at first, follows the ball to third, ready to go. All right. This one again is from, this one's in San Bernardino, I think, or it might be, no, it's not San Bernardino, but it's a junior league game. We've got the umpire on the inside of the diamond. We've got a sharp ball to the shortstop and a runner at first base, and the umpire in the middle there automatically picks up that the ball's going to be sent to first base. So we'll watch what he does. So he's lined up. He's ready for first base. It's not his responsibility. And then all of a sudden, hang on a sec, there's a play right behind me. So had he, opened up, chest to ball, turned around, watch where the ball was, watch where it was going to be thrown, would have been all over it. This one's a senior league game from Indianapolis. We've got, this is a synthetic field, and we've got a runner on third and a ball that gets away from the catcher. What I want you to do this time is just watch what the plate umpire does. Watch what the plate umpire does. Hang on a second. And then we'll move. All right, so ball behind. The ball comes back. I'll just go back a bit. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Right, so ball gets behind. So I just want to watch. You can watch what the plate umpire does as the runner comes home. Runner's coming home and he's ready. But the ball hits him, hits the helmet in his hand. And if you have a look at how the pitcher reacts on the replay here, not a happy camper.
Yep.
All right. So what I'd say, though, if it can happen in these sort of games, it can happen anywhere. So what he could have done there, what he should have done, open up his stance, always know where the ball is, glance at the runner, hang on, the runner's coming home, I'm right in the spot now, I'm right in the way, and get out of the way. Get ready in the right position to make the play. So get that chest to ball, always know where the status of the ball is. This one again, same game, Puerto Rico and California. California's come back. It's 2-2, and the ball gets away from the catcher. So if you look at this from the other angle, the umpire doesn't know where the ball is. Catcher didn't know where the ball is, but had the ball been ready to go there, it could have been right in the way. This guy will show you how it should be done. This is from the Little League World Series. It's a regional tournament. I think in the Central region, this one. Looking at those banners at the back, though, it's a few years ago. So let's have a look at that one. All right, might go back and revisit that one. So yeah, Midwest that one is. So it's Missouri and South Dakota. He knows exactly where the ball is. He's watching the play. He's glancing at the runner, and as the ball comes in, he gets right in the spot to make a call. Ball gets away, but yeah. So let's get rid of that one. All right, how's that for everybody? You're getting the idea of when we talk about chest to ball, where we should be moving, how we should be sort of doing it. Let me share my screen again. All right, so chest to ball, always knowing where the ball is and being ready to go. Just give me 2 seconds while I load this up. All right. The other thing we want to do this year is start everybody on a wedge journey with the wedge. So a few years ago, when they introduced made the changes to obstruction, and that the players couldn't block the base or block the plate. You'll see on the left-hand side, we've got a pretty old picture there. We've got a guy that's working 12 to 15 feet away from the play. Probably picked up the point of the plate, moving to third base or first base line extended. Someone just needs someone, whoever that is, to put themselves on mute. Yeah, right. Sorry, we'll go back.
Mate, that chat, they're only answering your questions. They're just saying yes, and so right. There's no questions.
No worries. Good on you, Mark. So in the second one on the right-hand side, we've got a guy from a game from last year moving into the wedge, and we'll talk about what the wedge is and how it works as we go through the season. But it's moving closer to the play. So the reason we need to work on that wedge is the changes to the collision rules at home plate especially led to an increase in swipe tags. This increase in swipe tags led to many umpires getting straight lined or blocked out at the plate, and a lot of video replay caused umpires to rethink where they should be and how they should move to be in the best position to see that play. So we'll pick up this this video here. Just give me a second. Let's go back, get rid of that one. Get rid of that one.
This is Tyler with Bremer's Health is writing an
All right. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. So yeah, I'll get this one up for you. So as I said, so now we need to talk about where we should move or how we need to move to get closer to the play to see what's going on. So you can see that screen now. Someone give me a thumbs up.
Yep.
Mark, can you see
Yes,
that
mate.
screen?
Yes, mate.
All right.
Yep.
Here we go. All right.
Can't really hear much of that there, mate.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
Lies in the fact that as more swipe tags were attempted, umpires were now getting straight lined more frequently. Theory behind wedge positioning. As wedge philosophy continues to evolve, many ask what factors led to the changes in philosophy for positioning on tag plays. The first answer is that changes in collision rules and various rule sets have led to an increase in swipe tag attempts in all levels of baseball. The second answer lies in the fact that as more swipe tags were attempted, umpires were now getting straight lined more frequently. Third, the expanded role of video replay in all levels of baseball led to a reevaluation of philosophies dictating positioning for tag plays, and therefore, wedge positioning simply adapts our mechanics to the evolving nature of the game. The theory behind wedge positioning is rooted in the following principles. First, the fielder and the runner are the two variables in the play that are constantly moving. And as the fielder is seeking to tag the runner and the runner is seeking to avoid the fielder, the angles of the play then are constantly changing. And as the angle of the tag attempt changes constantly, our positioning must also do the same. If the two variables of the play are constantly moving, causing angles to change, then a predetermined set position by the umpire does not allow us to adjust with the changing angles as dictated by the developing play. In order to achieve optimum positioning, the umpire must constantly reposition to keep his head and eyes between the plate side hip of the fielder and the runner. This is the best viewing angle of the play, as both the runner and the fielder change this angle constantly throughout the development of the tag play. Using wedge theory requires umpires to follow 3 basic steps to achieve optimum positioning. First, umpires must assume a starting position of 5 to 7 feet from the fielder and maintain that relationship of 5 to 7 feet throughout the duration of the play. Second, umpires must adjust with the fielder, meaning that if the fielder moves in any direction, right, left, forward, or backward, the umpire must move in that same direction, ensuring that he remains 5 to 7 feet from the fielder. The last step then is that umpires must use quiet steps to keep the head and eyes in the space between the plate side hip of the fielder and the runner for optimum viewing and positioning. As the wedge continues to evolve, many question the 5 to 7 feet target distance and debate whether or not that distance is too close to the play. The diagram here gives us a visual to help explain. The reason umpires keep 5 to 7 feet distance from the catcher is because the angle gained in a one-step adjustment, also known as our quiet steps, is far greater than if umpires were positioned further from the play. As shown in this example, our plate umpire's first step is to maintain that distance of 5 to 7 feet from the fielder. He also illustrates the second step in applying wedge theory in that he adjusts with the fielder. Note that the fielder moves slightly up the first base line, a movement then that our plate umpire also makes. These steps allow our umpire to keep his head and eyes in between the fielder and the runner to view the play. The replay shows the third step, quiet steps, that as this tag attempt is attempted to be made, our umpire continues to step into the wedge so that he maintains that relationship of keeping his head and eyes in between the fielder and the runner so that he sees down and through this tag attempt.
All right, so yeah, we'll talk through that in the coming weeks. We'll probably get on the wedge maybe sometime after Christmas. All right. So the other thing we want to talk about, hang on a second.
Can we just get people to mute themselves, please?
That might have been me.
Oh, all right.
Potentially. All right. So the other thing we'll talk about in our fifth principle is efficient movement behind the plate. So getting on the line for fair foul, getting in the right spot for catch, no catch. We want to talk about trailing the batter runner to first base and seeing any potential interference play up the line. We'll talk to people about rotations from third to third base when we've got on a small diamond, runner on one or a runner at 1 and 3. So these are some of the things that we want to work through during the season, lining up runner 3 on retouches and tags at third base. So these are the things that part of the stuff we've got to work through for the season. I'd say more than anything, as new umpires come online, they do a community course. They'll go and do a plate, and they just stay behind the plate and they don't move. So we want to sort of start to talk to people about that stuff as we work through the season. All right. So tonight we've covered a lot. We've got what training and what support's available now, locally, nationally, online. We've spoken about our theme for the year, make the most of routine plays, and we've introduced our principles for this year. Chest to ball, proper use of eyes. We've got introduction of the wedge theory, efficient movement around the plate, those sort of things. A session in 2 weeks on December 2, same time, same place. We'll start on sharpening our habits and skills, and we're going to cover Rule 7.14, which for Little League we get probably more questions about than any other, leaving early. So we've got a good session on that, and we've got some resources for you to use and take away and to share locally. So as we talk about sharpening our habits and skills, we'll talk about pre-game, a plate meeting, doing a post-game, how to set some goals. We'll start to work through those sort of things in our next session. Tonight, as I said, replays available on YouTube. So you've got some other local umpires that might have training tonight or whatever. Get hold of them, tell them to watch it on YouTube, and explain to them what we're talking about. If they're not in our mailing list, get them on our mailing list. The sessions will be advertised by email and also on our Facebook page. So yeah, get them along, get them involved. But tonight, if you want to, don't forget, download a copy of the rule book from NSWBUA.com. If you write to the secretary, NSWBUA.org, he's got some books. And John, they're going to tell me how much they are. They are
$20.
$20
plus postage.
$20 plus postage. Will we have any available at the community courses?
Can arrange those for the community course.
All right. So if you want one, we'll take a couple out there. But if you want one and you're going to one of those community courses, or one of your mates is, let us know and we can get it out to you, and they can pick it up there for you. Postage is maybe about $10, I suppose. $6. What a bargain. But the way Australia Post going could take some time to get to. Little League, don't forget, you can get the rules app on your phone, the rules instruction manuals on the Umpire registry, littleleagueumpire.org. The Western Region Facebook page is a good one. You got Little League Umpires page is another one. Umpires of Little League is another good one. Get on our mailing list. subscribe to our videos, and yeah, that's it. That's tonight. That's where we're up to, and that gives everybody an overview of where we're headed. So questions, comments, feedback, yeah, hit me.
Mate, I've got one. Just to everybody, get onto your mates, get onto your clubs or whoever you're associated with, because this is something that is just got so much value to it that Matt's running. So get onto all your mates, get onto everybody, tell them what it's about, and just hook into it, because Matt's put a lot of work into this, and Stu Hardenstein from 3 Up, 3 Down has provided a lot for Matt, I know, and Matt's done a lot of work for this. So let's not waste this opportunity. And just from me, like Matt talks, people that know me know that I love affirmations, and he talks about being lazy. I've been taught that you're never too good to hustle, and hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. So just remember, as Matt said, don't be lazy, get out there and really work hard. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Any other questions, comments? I'll give you a bit of a preview of...
Hang on, we got a question there, mate, from Bree, I think it was. Where was it? What's Bree asking? Just got to find where it is.
If you are a new umpire, do you need to get the rule book? That's the question.
Yes, well, Matt, you handle that. Away you go.
I personally believe every umpire should have a rule book, but if you haven't got a physical rule book, knowing where to go to get the information to answer a question, you can download it online in about, I don't know, a minute, and you'll have it forever. So especially the Little League one on your phone, read through it. You don't have to read it day after day after day, just read a little bit each day, you know. But if you do a game, you have a problem, you know, it might be, could be anything, you know. You can go back, find the rule. If you can't find the rule, hit one of us up, get in contact with your local mentor. Hey, listen, had a problem in the game. This is what happened, and we'll find the rule for you. So what we've got, just give me 2 seconds. I'll just get this thing up on here.
The app is really good because you can actually search for things if you find something during the game.
You can, yeah. What's the youngest age? What's that question? What is the youngest age able to register for a level O course?
Usually it's 12 years old, but we'll take people. We would take people younger than 12 if they're playing Little League. That, you know, maybe could umpire T-ball and stuff. I've had 12-year-old kids turn up and they shouldn't have been there because they just didn't understand it, couldn't work through it. And I've had, you know, I've had 12-year-old kids that are excellent, that, you know, you'd put them on any game. I've got 16-year-old kids that don't get it. So it just depends on the individual. To give you an idea, so last year we started making up some. Just let me share my screen here. Last year we started making up some cards for plate meetings and stuff. I've updated those a little bit. These are double-sided, so we double-side them and laminate them, and you can put those in your bag, in your pocket, whatever, have them ready to go. So this is one we've got just for a plate meeting that talks about stuff for your plate meeting. I've got another one for, I've got ones for, where are we? Just let me go back a second. I've got these for all sorts of stuff, for the slots.
Tournaments. Yep.
Tournaments. I've got them. We'll talk about the slot stance in the coming weeks. Let me share that one. Where is it? Give me a second. Can you see that?
Yep.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got them for the slot stance, and I've done one up for batting out of, for leaving early. So we'll work through leaving early next week. We get lots of questions about leaving early, and I've broken it down into 3 easy segments, which once you sort of work through it, it'll all make sense, and you'll be all over it. So yeah, those ones will be ready to go in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, any other questions from anybody? There's no other questions. I might just stop the.
Just had one question there, Matt.
Yeah.
So obviously getting back into the season, are there going to be any like COVID restrictions around umpiring again this year?
So at the moment, umpires need to be double vaccinated, obviously, before they can umpire, depending on your age, of course.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions as such, but maybe if Trent's still on here. No,
I'll jump in, Matt, if I
yeah,
can.
Bales, yeah. So John's
Baseball New South Wales haven't introduced any additional restrictions other than the current health orders, which means that until the 15th of December, unless they change, anyone taking to the park needs to be double vaccinated and follow the current health orders, as well as the local council and club requirements around COVID checkings.
You're not too easy.
Yeah. So the other thing to remember for COVID, I'm thinking you're doing a game, you're wearing a umpire mask, but you're probably not wearing a COVID mask as such. If someone gets too close, it gets in your face, you need to maybe mention at the plate meeting, listen, guys, happy to talk to you. Don't come too close. Certainly don't, know this, cheek to cheek like you see on the major league stuff, and you'd be well within your rights to, give them a warning, to ask them to stand back, and if they don't, that'll be probably the first ejection for the year. Too close, breathing all over me.
All right.
Mate, I'm going to just stop the recording now.